All right, here we go. Hey, everybody. DayTraderRockStar here, also known as Johnny. And going out, sending this video out to the masses out there. You don't have to necessarily be a trader or a day trader or have anything to do with the markets. The name of this video is actually, I have a picture of a chart that's giving it away. Like I said, I actually hope other people get to actually see this. Even though it does relate to trading, I just think this is a fantastic way to get started here. There I am. Beautiful. Look at that. Ultimate side hustle, I'm calling it. Trading the markets, no money needed. And what do I mean by that? Everyone's out there trying to get the side hustles, making extra cash and stuff. Drop shipping, Amazon, Shopify stores, Uber, everything. All these things fall into a category, I guess they call it side hustles, right? And I looked at, I was doing my research for the video and stuff. And I was looking around. And I just didn't see anybody mention anything to do with the markets and stuff. Like, all right, I said, what they're doing now with the prop firms and this way of it just brings me back to cycles in the market, and we're going through a cycle here where it's going to be it's hard to describe because it's happening. It'll be easy to look back at. I don't know how it's going to end, but to be able and I'm a trader, all right. Before I even go too far here, that's what I do. I do a show each day, DayTraderRadio.com for those that or maybe not traders out there. That's DayTraderRadio.com, and I am a trader that's been trading since the mid '90s, full time, and then I started a show in 2007 and started teaching my style of trading and entertainment because I also like to. Entertain and meet friends and have a nice community of traders that work together, and we've been doing that for a long time now. So now we're starting to really focus on, other than our basic trading, there's a thing out there now called a thing for those out there who are not familiar with the markets, but there's a way of trading the markets, paying a small fee, and trading the markets with basically other people's money, all right? So a firm's money. And a lot of people, when I was growing up, I remember hearing things about prop firms, and I always pictured people going into these offices, and you're sitting next to other traders and stuff, and everyone's working, but you bring in your own money, and you and they add the money, and split the profits and stuff like that. But these things are changed now. That everything is not like that anymore. And when I talk about prop trading, I'm talking about these online, I don't know how to even describe them, firms that will exactly do that. They will provide you with a platform, a Ninja Trader platform, an account of 50,000, 100,000, 120, 250, depending on what you want, the data feed and everything, and you pay a minimum fee. And these days, with the coupons and stuff, normally on a website it'll say $100 and something, but they're giving out coupons. So I have good coupons. I have the 90% of coupons. They're in the post or in the direct, description of the video if you want to check that out. It's good until the end of August. And I would definitely take advantage of it because, they try not to kill the price that much. It doesn't, because then they won't have any 50% discounts. But this is so. When you see it goes down to $18, when I say $18, what is, this might be way over people's heads already because I don't even know where I'm going with this. I want to bring up a picture of the prop firm here. This is just a prop firm. You pay them a little bit of money. They're going to give you what's called a simulation or a qualification account. That qualification account will be it's a video game. It's fake money. It's fake money. All right. It's a simulation account, and they're going to start it off with a certain amount of money, which money that you decide to start with. It has this, it has some rules. And an example here, on the 25K, you have to get a profit of $1,500. You can only trade up to 3 e-mini contracts, probably 30. Micros, 30 micros, 3 minis. This is usually ES, all right, contracts, so 7, yeah. Drawdown is up to 1,500, and again, there's something we'll show you on the drawdown, but basically 1-to-1, a 1-to-1 risk reward here. And the first 10,000, you receive 100% of that. So what do you mean you receive money? So it's $145. It's not $145. You put the coupon code in the description. It brings down to $18 and change. $18 and change. The technique you're going to learn here is you're going to get this way before a month. You want to qualify in just a few days. And when I say qualify, it means we're going to make our profit target before we hit our drawdown. And when that happens, what happens? Then you move to a master account, and they give you a live account. Same setup as you had with the sim account. It has to be the same. It's going to be 25K or 50, whatever one you pick for the sim. There's going to be a little activation fee, but I think it's a one-time fee. And then you trade your old plan. You get the first 10,000 without commissions, and then they're up to 90% of your profits. And you get to use the terminal for free. And it doesn't really cost anything. I think there's a one-time fee, $100 something dollars. But what you're talking about here is the reason you got to a point where you have a master account is because you followed the signals. You learned these are some of the things that I'm going to just flash it on the screen here because you might not even know what that looks like. A different language, right? Quad rotation. Yeah, that makes me look intelligent right there. Each one of these is a setup that we look for, and really the top 3, the top 2 are the ones I want. All right. So when I get those, I send those out, and if they get sent out, that goes out as a super signal, and it'll be sent out fast. And there it is, a quadrivergence. It'll be a level that we get into 43.75, and what the stop is going to be, and it'll have an image. You just click on that link or copy and paste it, but it's usually in the alert. You could just click on it, and it'll show you this. It'll show you at the time this right here, at the setup at the time. And that's the trades we want, because when we talk about, and again, this is probably going way, it's my worst ability is to do a straight up video and kind of checks all the boxes. I'm all over the place, but basically that's how you're going to qualify for these accounts. It's just by taking these high probability signals. The signals are based off of my teachings in stochastics, momentum, and just a basic George Lane stochastic indicator here, combined with a couple other things. We have some algorithms and some bots and stuff that help us identify some setups. But once you learn it, it's pretty good. It'll work, and you'll get to your goal. But just like going to don't leave the path through Mirkwood. The markets are Mirkwood. I'm giving you the path here. All right. Don't leave the path and try to reinvent something that you're not going to get anything better than this. And that's why I'm so comfortable and confident. Again, these are different account sizes you could get, and each one of these. And I'm going back to the side hustle type of thing. This is almost like someone coming up to you and said, "John, a friend who has a casino." Yeah, he has a casino. This is a good one. Let me see where I am here. This is the best thing I could do for a casino right now. Look at all those cards. That looks like a card counter, right? That's what we are, card counters in the market. But your friend comes up and says, or you're working for a company. You're going to be a prop card trader or a casino player. So they're going to give you $5,000 of fake chips, $5,000 in fake chips, and you have to make 7,000 before losing 1,000. All right, so they kind of put a pressure on you, but it's all fake money. And then if you could do that, then you get the 50. You get the next 5 million is going to be real, and you guys split that 90-10, where you keep 90% of it. So would you do that? I would love to have that opportunity. and say that would be great. There's no risk to you whatsoever. There's no risk getting into the markets and paying you $14 and $18 and taking a shot. And you get a couple of things. You're qualified on a full account. So you have no risk, huge reward potential if you stick to the thing. So that's where I come in, right? That's where I love teaching this stuff, and know that I know my setup. I know the setup that I bring to the table is the best setup in the market. I mean, every single day, I've been doing it for years. We identify probably the lows and the highs of the market, and let's take a look right now. This is actually the markets right now I'm looking at. I'm always in front of it, so it's going on to 1025. Look at this. And it's not that you're going to be doing this side hustle, being up like me, but you can make money in this market. Even I would be watching for my divergences, or watching for, but I'm not seeing anything here. Just a nice drift up, though. A nice small drift up overnight. Well, let's get back to what we were talking about. There's Johnny going off on a tangent. I'm looking at if you made money on your account here. I'm just looking at the withdrawal rules and performance-based compensation on your master account. The trader is paid directly from results achieved. First $10,000 earned is withdrawn to the trader's bank account without any commissions. After the withdrawal of the first $10,000, the company's commissions are 10% of the profits, and remaining 90% is received by the trader. And they're and it all started by just qualifying. All right. And then you have an opportunity. You have free money. Even if you lose this, it's not your responsibility. They still have the thresholds, the very strict. And I don't even know, to tell you the truth, I couldn't tell you if they're real accounts or not. If they are, there's a master account, or how they're managed. They're getting more fees from people trying to do this than they actually get in profits. I can't really even tell you that. I think about it all the time. But I do know a lot of people who've just gotten, are getting paid out. And this is a very, if you know how to trade, this is a very easy way. And I say it easy in the confidence. Maybe you don't get it the first time, but, within 5 qualification accounts, I bet you're going to be qualifying, because you're going to realize what you're doing wrong, the excitement of being in the trade, over trading past 3 o'clock or areas where you shouldn't be. If you just waited for those divergences, you could just crush this every single time. It's just the waiting and the patience. All right, the waiting and the patience. So there's a lot of information on this. You can probably find it on the. So when you go to the Bullonox, it says please log in. You're not registered. You're registered. Please log in. If not, please sign up. So here's the, again, I'm going to show you, when you go to sign up, if you use the coupon code, you always want to use the coupon code. So say you wanted the 25K account. Actually, the coupon code's only good for the 50K and the 100K. So we'll go with the 50K. See, it says here, 175. Put in the code, and I'll put that on the bottom. Put in the DTR Life 50. DTR Life 50. Hit return. So survey says, and we go back up here, and it's $18.95. That's DTR Life 50 for the 50K account, option 1. The option 1 is you have to get a profit of $3,000. $3,000. You know what that means? All right, you have 7 contracts. Your maximum trailing drawdown is $2,500. We'll go into that in a second. So how hard is it to get the $3,000? What if I don't even know what trading's about? I don't even know what a contract is. Well, you're gonna have to start somewhere. Head over to DayTraderRadio.com. Send me an email. I'll send you the right videos to get you up to speed. That's the best thing I could do right now. Until you get back, get up to speed. Honestly, I don't want to be, you got to have some knowledge of, I guess, trading, a little knowledge. But if you have that little knowledge, if you know, or want the alerts, you know, I would say head over to DayTraderRadio.com. That way, you get to just see everything. Actually, you go to dtr.tv/live. No, /free. dtr.tv/free. I'll post that on the links too. That'll give you 10 days of full access and any alerts. So probably the best thing to do is to get those alerts. If you're not a member, try out for 10 days the alerts. That way you'll see the alerts come in. You can mark them down on the charts. You'll see the results. We do, I send out videos each night discussing the results. Today's action. And we'll just going back to the question here. This was actually a divergence right at the end of the day. Beautiful divergence. See that nice little move up? And we could predict all these little moves. So we had two good divergences today. One here and one here. And again, I probably lost another, a bunch of people who don't even know what a divergence is. But that's okay, because that's what I specialize in. I could easily explain that with some other videos, but we're not going to talk about. Just know that you're going to get these signals. When you get a divergence signal with a quad rotation, you're going to get a text message or an email, and that's going to come to you, and it's going to tell you. That way you can just open up your account and not be in front of it. If you're not in front of it, at least you know to look for it. I think that's the best way of actually going, because most of these will give you, over 10 points. And then we talk about, all right, so what does that mean? I could trade 7 contracts. Here's my big calculator. And I had to make, I think it was 3,500. So here we go. Here's my 7 contracts right down here. For each 7, if I were to get a super signal and I would put on all 7, I wouldn't be, tiptoeing around, right? This is like you have an opportunity, very cheap, to hit it big. The super signals are going to give us the big shots. It's best. That's where you're gonna, bet your pot. You're gonna want to go all in sometimes on these super signals, if they're really good ones. And I'm trying to kind of let you know if they're really, really great ones to go all in, or if the market's weak, I'll kind of tell you, look for a faster rotation or a fast exit. Most of them will give you gains, just depending on how big it is. And the final, not being in a bad trade is even, we're taking care of that too with those fast rotations. And there's not many, coming out of a divergence. So here's each point there. So say, you're in 7 contracts, and it goes up a point, that's 350, 2 points, 3 points. 5 points, very easy kind of a move here. That brings you up to $1,750. That's halfway there, halfway to your goal. And one trade, one trade of 5 points. A divergent setup, the divergent setup is typically over 5 points all the time. Now let's take a look at some of those examples. And again, I apologize if I I jumped from A and went all the way to Z here. I'm a trader at heart, so I like to talk trading. So I'm already going to show you some stuff. Let's see what we have here. This was the value of the thing. We were talking about the 50K or the 225K accounts. I don't mind the 25K. If there was a coupon on it, I would say that try that one, but there's no coupon on it. The super signals, got that. And these are the playbook trades. You're not going to know all of these, especially in the beginning. And it gets, you might say, "Wow, I could just learn this. I don't need to be part of Day Trading Radio. I'll learn what he's teaching right now. I'll take that." Well, believe me, you want the alerts. This is money going to be found money every day. You don't want to miss them. The starting capital goals, 1,500 on the 25K account. 1,500. That's like it's like one trade. Wow. It's one thing talking about it. So again, we have seven contracts, and we go all the way out here, it would be 10 points, give us 3,500. 10 points. Now we have 10 points. Let's take a look at I want to look at something here. I'm going to show you some examples here. Oh, I always like this little example here. I'm like a teacher here sitting underneath this. This is what we're trading. We're trading a momentum-based setup, I want to call it a setup, where we're measuring the momentum and, the velocity, you could say, the thrust and the height, and when there's a divergence between we're going to explain it to you like this. A rocket has the fuel, we'll pretend it's a model rocket. It has a little engine in the back, and you launch it, and that engine has all the fuel in it, and it burns, and it's burning up there, burning up. It goes all the way higher and higher, very steep. But you could measure, if you're measuring that engine outburst, that flame, you were measuring it. Once it died, right? It doesn't just continue. It might be a little warm, but the energy that was shooting out, it just died. There's no more energy. So that could be seen on a chart, it's dropping off. But what it was pushing doesn't drop off right away. What it's been pushing has momentum to go a little bit higher before rolling over. So I'm able to identify when that momentum stops. When that momentum stops, selling momentum, buying momentum, you could go either way. When that stops, that gives us our signal, and we even know how to improve on that signal. Even that signal is so good, now add in that quad rotation to it, it makes it even better. And seeing such a great signal like that in the markets and understanding it and having confidence in it, you're just a couple trades away from, qualifying if you have the patience to wait for the best setups. Now, I always say it's really up to you if you're going to take the best setups or you're going to just kind of, trade around them, take them when they come, but, make your own call and take, market's going to the highs. I feel I'm going to get behind it. I want to, just start randomly going in the market. Now, I've talked about, the importance of always taking the trade, especially in the shorter term. Your first entry should be in the direction of the stochastics. The shorter the time frame, even the 9-3, you just want that on your side. And sometimes it's very hard to, when you get up here and everything is overbought and you have this kind of a quad rotation to the sell signal right up here, it doesn't make a lot of sense to go long. So these simple rules like this are important to just stay out of trouble, because you could gamble here. Say, I think it's going to go higher. It might, who knows? It really, I know the divergence. I know when I see a divergence, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to get that move in the direction of the divergence. How big the move is, it's usually a bigger move than the average move. And if it's a good divergence, a steep divergence, we just put our stops right underneath the low. Now, when I send out those alerts, they have that stop in there. It has that stop in there. But the hard part is trying to figure out where you want to take your profits, because here say you're in here at 97, and it's 407 here. That's a 10-point move here over the last hour. It went up 10 points. It went up and pulled back a little. Then it got up 10 points. You had all 7 contracts on there. You just qualified. Hell, maybe even goes higher. It went higher. Then it came crashing back down. But again, here it came up another divergence right here. And this one here kind of popped up here. And what to tell, how do you know to take it off here or let it pull back a little and maybe it eventually drops? That becomes a little bit more difficult. Anyway, the overnight trade, not much going on. But you can see that why you want to be, I think this is a great side hustle overall. Everything is intact. I want to just point out one thing on the, let me see. Again, I know I jumped through this real fast. I apologize if I left people in the dust. If you want to know more information, feel free to ask me in this video. I'll follow up with you. if you really want, I could hook you up with a nice little video 3-part series to kind of get you up to speed. But like I said, always head over to DayTradingRadio.com. That's where everyone's located. We have chat rooms and stuff. There's a lot of free stuff over there too. We have 2 big forums too for the super signal. This is actually, I wanted to show you this. This is a trailing drawdown. You're going to hear that term a lot on trading these things. Now, so again, you're in $18.95 per month. That's dirt cheap to be able to maybe qualify and then trade with a $50,000 account. You qualify and you're trading with a $50,000 account, and you happen just to be right. Who cares if you're wrong? It's not your money. Someone's money. You take that shot. You take that super signal, and you take it, and you go with it. And the next thing you know, you're up $20,000, and it's a life-changing event. That could easily happen. I see it every day happening. You get qualified. You're in it. You wait for a good super signal, and you let it ride. I know it sounds, and that's not how you want to trade, but I'm telling you, I know with found and free money, sometimes you have to give that little push. But it probably wouldn't even work out that way. I think these prop firms actually kind of don't encourage that, and you have to make your money over a period of certain amount of trades, which I don't know offhand, but I'm sure it's in the small print. So maybe 5 trades. You have to have a minimum trading days, I think 5 to 7 in some firms. I mean, you have to trade for at least 5 days. You can't just do it in the first day and cash out and get lucky. You have to prove that you could do it. And the best thing to do that is, again, don't overtrade. Don't get into the get the super signal. Take those, put a stop underneath the lows that the super signal came in on, and let it happen. $18.95. You spend more money on that with 2 cups of, Starbucks coffee and a bagel. And you could be trading a $50,000 account. I still can't get over it. I wanted to show you something else here. So the trailing drawdowns, that's what I wanted to show you. There's 2 types of drawdowns. There's an option 1 and there's an option 2 on these accounts. Option 1s give you a trailing drawdown, and option 2s give you a daily loss limit. I mean, you can only lose 400 for the day. Then it resets. Max drawdown is 1,000. So you can't lose. All right, so that's a $10,000 account too, up to 5 micros. But it's a different type of stop, meaning that you can't lose more than 400 during the day. But after that day, you could probably, I'm getting close to lose. I don't want to lose this, so I want to, you could stop trading. The trailing drawdown, and I think the reason this is a little bit more cheaper when it comes to the options 1 and option 2s. I do have option 2 coupons, but they're not 90%. They're 50%. If you want them, just email me. What we're going to do here. Oh, so the trailing drawdown is basically where you start off. Oops, what the hell? Sorry, something just happened there. When you start off with an account, you have an underlying stop loss. It'll follow it up, and it'll always stay at that minimum level. So if you actually, we start off at $100,000, and you make $102,000, your trailing stop goes up $2,000. Now, if you lose that $2,000, that trailing stop stays where it is. It doesn't come back down. So it's always going to be following you up. So even in theory, if you make some money up here, you're like at $150,000, and your trailing stop is at $148,000. It's and you pull back, and you go underneath $148,000. Even you're like, man, I made 130. A lot of money, and you have a very, very tight stop. So it doesn't work that way. You have it's relative to your price. It stays the same distance unless you get the maximum move before everything starts to adjust. The let's see here, what else? The trailing drawdown, only the super signals. I was working on some quotes the other day. He who wins knows when to fight and when not to fight. And again, that's so important in this type of trading. Again, first of all, side hustle. I love the term side hustle. I think anybody can do this. You have to dig into a little bit more, but I mean the opportunity to make that money versus what you have to put down. Pick the best times and places to enter a position. This is all from Sun Tzu, the great Chinese. Oh, is it Japanese? Japanese general, or was he Chinese? I forget now. Sun Tzu. I think it was Chinese. But there was a book on, I remember growing up and I ran across a book, The Art of War for Traders, and there was some great little lines in this. Anyway, important things I always remembered here. Pick the best time and place to enter into positions, and when not to avoid or back down for allocations, meaning don't trade into news. Don't trade at levels that get volatile or you have no control over. Today was a great day because we had a lot of sideways consolidation and stuff. And that's why the rock bot here did so well. The rock bot is actually something I didn't even show you guys. Let's take a look at that. I have to zoom in here. The market kind of went up here after hours, but during the day, it's going to be hard to move those over. You have to really zoom in back here, and you can see each one of these dips and peaks were shorts. This is a scalping indicator, so this is the extremes, and it just nailed every extreme on the ES. And again, this is after hours right now. We just got a short up here at the top here on the YM, the NQ, and on the ES. So let's actually watch and see if this market does come back down here. Looks like my bot went on. My bot went off. Don't fight the trend. Again, lots of times we'll have it. We've been seeing the sell the rips, I call it, and you have to recognize that, because that's going to help you out. If you do have something that fails on you, you should be able to identify that by watching your 60-10. 60-10 shows no strength or no any movement. It's probably embedded. That means the bigger trend is going to be down, and every little bounce is going to be sold into. I don't think many people realize that, but we have it down to a science. A science, I tell you. Weird science. Advance without coveting fame and retreat without fearing disgrace. Have your only thought to be protect the country and to do good service for the sovereign. All right. Don't be afraid to take a loss. All right? Don't be afraid to take a loss. Be willing to cut your losses. Market tells you a particular investment has gone awry. It's a learning experience. I always analyze every trade that I fail at. I said, what did I do? And most of the time I'll look at it and I said, well, I bought right when the 9.3 was at 80. Of course. That's what you talk that's what you talk about every day, John. Why don't you just... But, we're all human, so I recognize that. So I think we left off. We're going to leave off here with where to hang out and get more information on this. All right. If you go to let's go here. If you go to Google, Facebook groups. Let's go to Facebook groups here. All right, here's the Day Trading Radio group. I post a lot of our information on that. Just do a search for Day Trading Radio. There's 2 accounts for them. One's inactive. The other one has like 1,000 members on it. So go that. And that's where we have that discount code and a lot of the stuff. If you want to just click on that, you'll have the link and stuff, where to click and use the codes. Or you could just go to the front of DayTradingRadio.com. They're on the front page there, DayTradingRadio.com. But definitely go back here and join up, because there's a lot of great information here. We could actually open this up a little. This site right here, and then I have another one that we focus on the prop trading alerts. Again, you'll see I do a lot of videos just get updated here. A lot of the techniques and stuff. Scooby here posting, and I would love people to post and continue to post. If you guys have any questions and stuff, this is a good place to put it. Ninja Trader offering us a $100 discount off the Ninja Trader platform. One of the members contacted them. So that's that. The other the other one is Master Traders Lounge, super signals for prop traders. So I'm going to have, going into this area, let me zoom this out a little. There's going to be the alerts, the auto alerts. I'm going to start getting the auto alerts for the super signal. We're working on that script, and they're going to kind of post in here. So we're going to keep this area all about the super signal, all videos, all the indicators, all the coupons and stuff are all going to be in here for prop traders. So that's Master Traders Lounge, super signals for prop traders. Just started this, so it's not, I haven't even talked about it too much, but I am posting some good stuff in it. All right, so that's about that. All right, you guys are still out there. Before I go, I took a screenshot from one of the prop firms, what they were paying out. And you can see some pretty big payouts here. This was just in December. And usually 87,000, 292,000, 376,000. Down to 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. They pay out, I think, once a week or so, maybe even twice a week. They pay out. That's encourage. It's always good to motivate people and see that type of potential out there. If you have that, the potential, all it takes is a little, it takes a shot. That's what you need to do. You need to take a shot. Let's take a look here. I'm going to go back to the master account here. Back to the bull knocks fast here. When you do open, I have a video on opening this account. So I have a video, I'll put it in the link, how to open a bull knocks account, how to set up the Ninja Trader, how to set up everything to get yourself into a position where you're taking your first trade. So that is already taken care of, and I'll put that in the description of the video, or just again head over to Day Trading Radio. Most of that stuff is on the site, but I will put it in the description. Good video to watch on that. All right, I think that was getting close to. I wanted to show you some of the alerts that we've been sending out here. And again, how key these are. Imagine you're waiting all day for a signal. That signal is the only signal that shows up. It has to look and feel the same way. It has to have the certain characteristics. The criteria has to match my strict criteria. And when you do, you have a much better chance of a big move. So when you have that, it's the same thing. When you're counting cards, playing blackjack. I had those counting cards before. That was my prop for this thing. But if you knew something that had a better chance of working out, would you bet more money on it? And I don't like to always use the bet and put this as a casino, but it is kind of a random thing. Anything could happen. But I do know that math and science play a part in the markets when it comes to trends, momentum, and being able to measure that momentum. It's very easy. Instruments are used to measure momentum all the time. And how does momentum flow? It has to flow, right? There has to be a flow to it. So we're able to identify the flow and the change of flow, and how to identify those. And it's just the classic lane divergence, and that's something I love. I love this setup. I made it my own. You know, I added some things to it, improved on it. I noticed other things that happen around it. This is just a fantastic signal in itself. And then on top of that, we have, you know, we have the other ones that we have here. This was a classic divergence here, 44 divergence. We had one today. The 44 divergence is a secret weapon of mine. It's a secret weapon. Love it. Love the 44. I want to show you a picture of the 44, and then we're going to just kind of go, because that's going to blow your mind, because no one even knows what a 44 is. It sounds like a gun. I apologize. Let me go back here today. 44 is, we have four bands here. Four bands of, we have the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, and Marvin Gaye and his band. Third band down here, we're going to call it the 44. Well, look at that. Look at that. That was a perfect divergence right here, too. Not a divergence, a nice quad rotation. This is live in the wild, people. Quad rotation requires all four bands to get under 20 at the same time. It helps to have a capping candlestick like that. But we're going to go out and show you what a 44 divergence is. Now you have a 9-3 on top. That's a 9-3 divergence. You see that higher low and the lower low on the price. It's not lower low, but it's equal with the closing candles. So we call that a relative divergence. And that gives you usually the same kind of move, so we pay attention to it. This was it right here. This was it. This was a sneaky little low. Popped up a little, came back, put a lower low in here. And I was looking at the 9-3 and the 14-3, the 9-3 and 14. Didn't see it. Then I looked back a little bit later. I said, oh my God, there was a beautiful 44 here. Nice steep. Don't see it often. And when I do see it, I just see the market move up off of that pretty aggressively. And that's exactly what happened. So I was I was happy to see it. You know, seeing one in the wild. I'm sorry I missed it. It was a little... And that was it. There was not too many setups today. And that's another great thing about, you know, getting the super signal. The super signal is so exact that you don't want to trade around it. You know, maybe you do, maybe you don't. I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm telling you, you should take every one of the super signals. If you're trading, and just take the stops. Put the stops that I send in with the signal. Put that stop in, and you're not going to go broke or anything. It's a good stop. It'll work. The problem is I can't tell you how to take it off. I just think that's a little bit harder. But I will keep you updated on what I personally think. All right, so that's it. Anything else I need to show? I'll show you day trading radio here, just in case you're not familiar with day trading radio. A lot of people probably are familiar with this station here. But I trade the markets live every day. And this is super signal right here. You can actually go to the station and scan that, and you get the super signal for 10 days. 10 days for free. So you'll get it on your text message. You can set it up, or you can send it up in your email, and then you'll have access to the room. You go up to the top here when you get you'll get your username, password. Well, you got your username, password. That's what you just filled out, and then you open that up, and the next thing you know, you're on the site. And look at me. I'm right there in front of you. It's me here. That's pretty cool. I'm looking at myself now in the... I don't see the station here. We have some of the news. Over on the right-hand side, we have... There we go. It's funny. Over on the right-hand side is where we have the trade alert box, where all the trades. That's where the super signals go out. The ones in gray are the super signals. The other ones in red are regular trade alerts. And we have our news columns. There's a lot more to this website. A lot more to this. There we go. As you can see, that's the whole dashboard. You'll be sitting there just like me. Down here is where we have our prop account that's actively running here. The prop account's actively running right now. It's in a trade. I guess the bot is working on the prop account tonight. It's in a trade, has a trailing stop. You can see that on the lower portions of your dashboard around the clock. All right, DayTraderRockStar here signing off. Have a great evening, and we'll catch you. And this is truly the #1 side hustle there is. Good night.